Hey Taurus, TT here with a channeled message for someone within our love nest, our Taurus collective. If you guys are new, welcome to our love nest, and if you're returning, welcome back. We're going to jump right into these messages. Y'all know how I do, okay? This was a very interesting energy to tap into, okay? Whoever you are, I feel like I'm here to give you some clarity about a person or a connection. I do feel like this has something to do with your love life in particular. Especially if you're suspicious about something. So we're gonna see, but before we get into that energy, I do feel like you're coming out of isolation. You may have put yourself on like celibacy or spending time to yourself. And just telling yourself, like, it's not the right time. I can't really put myself out there. I feel like you're wrapping up some inner child healing that you were doing for a very long time. And a part of doing this, I feel as if when you were a child, you absorbed some type of survival mode skills. You've absorbed like listening to other people and their problems. I'm picking up on a Taurus that is very used to, like, once a person comes to you and they talking to you about their problems and what they have going on, you make yourself available. Your inner child can't help but to like want to shine your light. That's what I'm picking up here. Like, you can't help but to want to shine your light. Your inner child can't help but to want to shine and craft and play and do certain things. And I feel as if somewhere along the line when you were younger, you picked up this perspective, but it didn't belong to you. I feel like when you were younger, like maybe you had a parent that would cry to you about their problems, or they would cry to you about the things that happened to them. And so you adopted a perspective. You adopted some type of response to situations, but that's not really who you were. You were a very optimistic child. When you were very young, a great listener, very optimistic. Your perspective around difficulties was like, what's wrong? And you were a great listener, right? And a part of being a listener, I feel like at a very young age, grown-ups dump piled on you, right? When that happened, you absorbed that energy as an empath, okay? And so your perspective around relationships also morphed into whatever the people around you were saying or doing. And now, as you're healing that, and you are kind of releasing those experiences that your inner child had to go through, I feel like that energy or those perspectives want to hold on tighter to you. And even though things may not appear to be all sorted out right now, you're still fighting. You're still swinging. Like, you haven't quite given up yet. You haven't given up on love. You haven't given up on becoming who you need to become in order to receive love. You see what I'm saying? And I feel like you're at this phase in your life where you don't know if you're doing it the right way. You don't know if this is the way it's supposed to be done. You're kind of just going with the flow, and as comfortable as it is right now, I feel like you're meant to be in that uncomfortable position. So this way you're not still keeping that perspective that was conditioned to you, or that you absorb from your conditions and your environment. It's like, no, I need everyone to be quiet for a second. I need all the outside noise to be quiet so I can hear my inner child speak. Because I feel like for a long time, y'all had childhoods where your parents and those authority figures were saying, like, be quiet. Don't cry. Don't do this. Like, you had to be very tough. That's what I'm seeing here. You had a lot of ideas. You had a lot of great things that you wanted to do or aspired to do, but they weren't supported or they weren't cultivated. Um, you weren't given the opportunity to really act on these ideas. It was like, okay, yeah, like brushed off. I'm seeing at a young age you were brushed off. And I feel like you've been a prisoner in your own mind. Like, you saw that scene in Doctor Strange, right? When the Scarlet Witch, if I'm not mistaken, she went to a moment, like they tapped into the multiverse, right? She went to a timeline where she had everything that she wanted, right? Because she was having dreams that she had children. And in this lifetime, she lost the person that she loved and she didn't have any children. So when she had dreams of children, that timeline, she became obsessed with going to that timeline and living the experience, in like living through that person. Okay? Because that's what I'm picking up here. I'm picking up that energy of like living through the experience all over again that you didn't get to have. So in the movie, she goes to this timeline where she has children. She doesn't have a man or she doesn't have a relationship, but she has children. And now her days feel longer. Her days feel harder because she's living in the 5D. Where now she's willing to do whatever is necessary right now to get back to that timeline. Even if it means she has to tap into magic that's forbidden. Even if it means that she has to play dirty to get what it is that she wants. She's willing to sacrifice to have what she wants at any cost. So that version of herself is still a part of her. It's still a capability, it's a possibility, it's an alignment, right? And it comes from a broken heart. Yeah, especially with wedding in reverse, it comes from a broken heart, grieving, losing a person, the loss of someone, a relationship, the loss of a marriage, the loss someone could have died. So you know what I'm saying? Like in that situation, he died, right? I don't know who it was. I think it was Vision. Yeah, Vision died. And so in her timeline, she felt very alone. She felt lonely. She felt isolated. And it was becoming darker and darker, right? And nobody could talk to her. No one could tell her down because she was convinced that there was no other there was no other sacrifice that would do. Like they couldn't offer her anything. And that's what I'm seeing here. On a lighter note, it's like the same magic or the same ability, but instead of using it in a way where you're stealing from yourself, I feel like you're using it in a positive way. Like you're going back, you're time traveling, or you're going to a multiverse, an altered state of consciousness, speaking to yourself. There are versions of you that are very much real. There are branches of your multiverse that's very much real that I feel like you are going back to kind of heal. You're helping yourself heal. So you may do this now. You may astral travel or time travel to your days as a child to like reassure your inner child that it gets better, especially if you are doing shadow work now. That's kind of what I'm seeing here. Every time that you write a letter to yourself, every time that you You comfort yourself in any type of creative way, whether that's thinking about yourself, remembering and reminiscing. That's equivalent to traveling. So you're asking yourself not to listen. I feel like there are versions of you that are coming to the forefront. That time when you were brokenhearted, that time when you were grieving, all of that is coming up. And it's like you're visiting yourself in the future. And you want to see what it looks like, right? Every time you get a reading, you're visiting yourself, right? You're taking a cerebral third eye vision into the future, right? Especially when you're looking at what's coming up ahead and things like that. You're taking a glance. You're aligning and you're tuning into a timeline of a particular existence, okay? I feel like you've been doing this since you were younger. Like your ability to kind of compartmentalize and be two places at once. Survival mode teaches you this ability really well when you have to escape the reality that you're currently existing. If you play Sims, you do this naturally where you're escaping and you're crafting the vision before you actually do it. That's the same concept that I'm seeing here. So you've been doing it in subtle ways your entire life. I feel like except right now, all of it is coming together, it's meshing together, which means the young version of you, the toddler version of you, the young adult version of you, the adult version of you is all merging into this one timeline. And for the first time, you took a page out of other people's book in order to craft this one for yourself. Things that were supposed to keep you locked down, things that were supposed to end you, to stop you. I feel like because you didn't have opportunities to go to school and learn some shit like this, or you weren't initiated into secret societies or different shit like that, you had to become self-taught. You had to be studious. Yes, you learned how to become the magician. I won't be a prisoner. I won't be tied down. I won't be weighed down. I won't be locked into this unfortunate situation. I won't spend the rest of my life suffering like this. I won't allow my inner child to end like this. So I feel like you had to go a period of time of ignoring versions of yourself that was fighting against you. So you had to travel back and talk to the younger versions of yourself and say, hey, listen, you don't know what it looks like, what this person's going to do 6 years from now, but I was there. I saw what happened. So I'm coming back to tell you. But for a period of time, your inner child locked themselves away, that they barricaded themselves away. And that's why I'm seeing Doctor Strange, because Professor Xavier went to the barricade and he was trying to talk to her, and he was saying, you have the power to take back your mind, because this person was like, I think it was called daywalking or skywalking. It's like a fancy word for astral traveling and temporarily possessing another person's body to do things in their body. And so that person steps away from their body, and then that energy takes on. So it's like a possession, okay? Which was supposed to be forbidden to pretty much skywalk in your own dream or something like that. There is something about utilizing a power or an ability that was considered forbidden. The fact that America could time travel, Americus or whatever could time travel and kind of like go to other multiverses was also forbidden. So she represented a type of magic that was not allowed. No one knows about that. It's not something that you're supposed to be able to do. So she was the person that was sought out to be sacrificed, so that way another person can get time back. So she was going to sacrifice her to steal her powers so she could go to that multiverse and actually have it in real life versus just dreaming about it. And that's what I'm seeing here, where it's this dynamic where someone has a gift. They have this ability to travel the multiverse. Okay. And you've had this ability since you were younger. And I feel like someone else is trying to negotiate with you. It doesn't really feel like a negotiation, but someone else is trying to get you to teach them how you time travel. Teach them how you do it. Teach them this magic that you possess. So they're trying to lure you out, okay? And it's like the more you focus on wanting to help that person get out of that shell, help that person wake themselves up, it's like they would swap places with you. Put you in the barricade, your consciousness, okay, your awareness. I don't know if you've ever studied quantum traveling or quantum healing. That's kind of what I'm seeing here, right? In order to go into your own Akashic, you have to kind of do this inception type of hypnotherapy type of thing. And this is where altered states of consciousness, you can pretty much put your consciousness in like a room. Okay? That's the best way I could describe it. You take a back seat and you allow another energy to drive the boat. Okay? That's kind of what it is. And then you become an observer of that timeline. So you may be into quantum healing or hypnotherapy or something to that degree. And doing so, going back to into time to heal, that is, like, it may be a craft that you possess. That's what I'm seeing here. But I do feel as if someone is not going to change, but they know that you actually possess that ability and that gift, that you've always had it your entire life. So I feel as if they would like to get into your mind and take over. Okay? Live your life and put your consciousness in there. Because now I'm seeing skeleton key, okay? I don't know what the hell, but now I'm seeing skeleton key, where it's literally like a swap. And so how does this person get close enough to you in order to do that? Is the more you're encouraging them, the more that you're telling them, they don't ever have an intention to change. It's like having a person be there and be like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. And then you go up to them and you're like, it's okay. And the more that you try to rub them and convince them that it's okay, what happens? The alarm is going to go off and then they're saying sorry because it was all a trick to lure you out and to have you reveal what your ability is. So it has nothing to do with being with you or your finances or your career. It has everything to do with, it's so much easier to take candy from a baby. It's easier for them to make you a prisoner of your own mind and just swap realities with you. Damn. And then the other form, there's two ways that they do this. The other form is to make you so paranoid that you withdraw yourself. So either way, it's either I'm going to steal candy from a baby, okay, like I did a long time ago with your inner child, or you're going to wise up and protect yourself. And then you're going to want to protect yourself so much to the point where you never live, you never exist, you cease, you wither away. Okay? Either way, I win because I got you a prisoner. You damned if you do and you damned if you don't. And that's what fear will do. So fear is something that is trying to take over, take hold of you. And so you'll stay in your barricades, and no matter how many times Professor Xavier comes in to remind you, right? It's not safe. It's risky business coming to tell you that you don't have to stay in that barricade, that you can take over the situation, that fear may have temporarily possessed you. Fear may have temporarily told you that they were going to utilize your vessel, but at any given moment, you can call your power back. They don't want you to believe that. So fear is going to say, ignore that. Fear is going to talk louder. Because I feel like that's what you're coming up against, fear. It's like I'm seeing someone's eyes like squinting because they can see the light. It's like there's light. Okay? It's a pinhole, but you only need faith as small as a mustard seed, which means a hole has been created. It's been punctured. I was being shown a different movie, but I can't quite remember. So you may have moments where you feel like you can't quite remember something. And it feels like every time you try to come out of this illusion, it's like fear puts the rose-colored glasses back on. The objective is to make you antisocial. The objective is to make you restrict yourself, paralyze yourself out of fear that you might mess up again, or that you may repeat the same mistake again, or that you may fail. But I feel like this is something that was casted on or passed down to you. Because we have manipulation here. But I feel like it's like a parasite. I always describe fear as a parasite, and they are separate entities, very much alive, like tapeworms. You have to keep feeding it though. You have to talk to it, or it'll make you talk back to it. It's either you're going to speak its language or it's going to speak it for you. So it's going to talk you out of wanting to achieve something. Procrastination is also a symptom of fear. Ancestry. Yeah, you're going to have to let go. Some of y'all, this may be like a mother figure, because I keep seeing like a mother communicating to their child. To protect yourself, you may have went into survival mode by tuning out your mother. So it's like nobody of an authority figure can tell you anything ever again. Because it's like you come from a line of... You come from a karmic. Some of you guys were born by a karmic, but you are a divine child that was born. Like, you're a divine child because you probably take after like your father, or if the roles are reversed, you may take after your mother. Whoever. Spirit, what are you saying? Like, don't be so loyal to a fault is what I'm hearing. Like, don't be so loyal to a fault where You stop asking critical questions. And you stop using your own discernment, because that's what I feel like you're coming up against right now. I'm going to refer to it as an enemy because it's an opposing force right now. But ultimately, I feel as if someone is about to try to crack down on you and like shove some type of culture, belief system, tradition down your throat. And they're going to do it by pulling on your empathy. But this may be the same way that this person got your father or you got your mother. And this same tactic is what they're coming around to do. Whereas like if I can't pull on you and you won't listen to me, then I'm going to pull on the next child that you may share with someone that possesses that same empathic ability. So the gift of empathy is being utilized right now, and this is why it's most important for you to really know who you are at this moment, so you can start rebuking and it's not about blocking it, so you can start exercising. You're an exorcist. I don't care. Like, you have the ability to literally exercise, and somebody may come towards you. They're looking at you, wanting you to get rid of something for them. But it's a trick. They really don't want to get rid of it, want you to get rid of it. They want you to become consumed by it. This is how you got lost before. Like if you think back to a moment in your past, there was a moment where you were doing things that wasn't like yourself. I feel like prior to this, you were very bright, you were very optimistic, you were very outgoing. Nothing about you was codependent. But somewhere, somehow, this type of spell was casted over you, leaving you feeling neglected, insecure, and like unable to show up for yourself. But it doesn't feel as if, even if you averted this as an inner child, as a child, I feel like it may have came towards you at your adolescent age, or maybe when you were like in high school. You know what I'm saying? And you know, a lot of times this can happen when you look up to like in-laws or mother figures. And they'll listen to your childhood and the hardships that you had, and they'll start to tell you, oh, that should have never happened to you. And you'll come in contact with like with a very malicious energy. And I feel like it's a female. I'm picking up female energy. Like on your path, you've had time taken from you. For some of you, like I keep wanting to go to a quantum level, but I feel like I need to talk to you from a different level, because from a quantum level, it's going to be too far away for you to understand what I'm saying to you. So I'm going to have to talk to you like I feel like I'm building blocks. Responsibilities, lessons, growing up. You know, sometimes when a person tells you you should never have had to go through something, or you should never have had to experience it, they make you have shame. They'll use the entity of shame. They'll make you experience shame about your childhood, and then you'll glorify their lifestyle. And then you'll realize the hypocrisy of how they live their lives, because they don't live up to any of the things that they said about your family. You know what I'm saying? I feel like y'all may have dealt with that in religious sectors, in-laws, or just connecting with other families. Because this is telling me, inner child, is you've had to constantly ignore people trying to incept your brain or your mind. And for a period of time, You may have stumbled across someone that you felt like you could come out and actually trust that person. But it's a very, like, you didn't see the signs or the warning signs, and I feel like you couldn't see it. Chaos, I'm telling you. And I feel like that's the transformation that's happening right now. That's what made you codependent. You weren't born like this. You didn't come from something. It's like your ancestors are saying you didn't come from people that were codependent and users and manipulators. You came from a bloodline that were go-getters, innovators, visionary. You came from great power. You came from great authority. But somewhere along the line, someone was trying to tell you that your journey, right? And think about what is required in order to come from that type of ancestry, right? So for example, you come from warriors and you come from great lineages. In order for you to be a great, just like your ancestors, you had to go through some serious lessons and struggles that maybe you had to grow up fast. Maybe you had to catch on fast. There was something about the experience that would force your left brain and your logic to shut off, and your intuition would be the only thing driving you. Your higher self would be the only thing driving you. So the movement and the momentum on this 3D dimension was always driven by the spirit. It just didn't have as many blockages, okay, along the way. Somewhere along the line, you fell across a serpent. You fell across something, tried to usurp your journey and say to you, like, you should never have to experience that. I'm seeing someone talk to you real nicely where it makes the hairs stand up on your back, where you may feel like, I believe that person. They may have the ability to serenade, or the ability to kind of talk in a way that's very, they're a great listener. It's like, come in, come inside. You should never have to go through anything like that. It's like the other mother off of Caroline. You know what I'm saying? And then the moment you tell them, no, I want to do it myself, it's like, you broke my heart. I'm disappointed in you. This is the fucking other mother. I'm telling you. And Nephilim, okay? And I feel like I'm seeing like this is forbidden. And you may have been able to notice, like, maybe you fell in love with someone and y'all come from separate, it's like Romeo and Juliet. Y'all come from separate households, separate belief systems. But someone is like, this person will never be welcome in my home. I hope they're saying they're wishing harm and ill will on another person. And it's because they feel as if they got out of someone else's they got out of their grasp, okay? Because we have Nephilim, controversial, assessing new perspectives. And even if this is your own family, you're getting out of a perspective that you're just doing something that's wrong. You're just always doing some shit. Everywhere you go, Taurus. That's what they're saying. You always bring in the storm. Okay? You always bring in the storm. You just can't let some shit be. I feel like someone's trying to bring like a Nephilim type of belief system down. They're trying to reestablish some roots that they feel like as they're establishing it, you keep reestablishing it, and they're sick and tired of listening to you It's like, I mean, just grow up, Taurus, grow up already. Like, they're sick and tired of you pretty much pushing a certain narrative or a certain agenda, or speaking your truth and your autonomy. Because I'm seeing here, you quite solo, you quite single. All right, this is saying you not married, you've come from an unrequited love situation. That's what this is showing me. But you may have 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. Okay? Finances in reverse, it says financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. You don't have financial issues in your love life right now. You're quite capable. But someone's trying to make you feel isolated, alienated. Because it is controversial to their perspective, to their beliefs, to how we're supposed to tend to the land and how we're supposed to do this. So 3 is this broken heart. And they feel like you're just wasted potential or you're lost out here in the world. And they want you to feel alone to kind of force you back into this society or this belief system or this doctrination. Because I was picking up on like poly energy as well. So maybe you grew up in, polygamy, or the Bible says that what a man is supposed to lead, and the rib and the heads and the booties and the butts, all that shit, right? Here you come and talking about unlimited potential and how you should walk away from people even when they're wronged you, how you should leave unrequited love situations. So you have someone that is really like bothered or perturbed. They feel very disappointed in you. It's like they're saying, what are you doing? What are you saying? Sorrow. They want you to feel like you'll never find love. They're trying to trigger your inner child. Make you stop believing in the wonders and magic. Like, grow up already. They could call you childish as well. People may refer to you as childish. We have twin flames. Love. Whew. I don't know why I heard assume the position. I don't know what that's about. I don't know what that means. What, Spirit, what does that mean when I heard assume the position? What are you trying to say? These people are never going to learn from you because they're in a barricade. We have the answer that you're seeking involves going to school. That's in reverse. So you don't need to be indoctrinated right now. I feel like if you've been wondering, like, should I go and like commit myself to a certain practice? What the Queen of Pentacles? You don't have to go and indoctrinate yourself into any faith if you don't want to. But if you do, do it. I feel like only thing that's saying here is make sure that you're doing it because you want to do it, and you're not indoctrinating yourself to a certain belief system or strategy because you feel like you're too controversial, or you upset people, or you're just too different. You're meant to be different. 77. I feel like you're coming into the year of the 8. And all of the things that you've had to go through on your journey is about to make sense. I'm hearing assume the position. I'm going to do all upright. Spirit, what do you mean when you say assume the position? 7 of Pentacles. Don't give up. You are at the 10 of Pentacles. You are the legacy. And I feel as if you're sculpting things. The story about Medusa is not what you think. So really quickly, what I'm getting is Medusa was a child of, I don't know, I think Athena or something like that. And she was cursed by Athena for falling in love with someone that she was forbidden to fall in love with and turning her back on her mother or her god or something like that. So as a curse, anyone that looked onto her would be pretty much turned to stone. Okay? So anyone that pretty much went against her, there was a lot of casualties. Let's just put it that way. So that energy, I feel like that story is coming up because it's like there's someone where they may resonate with your pain and your purpose, but it's from the sense of like, yes, I can make a statement now because there's someone else just like me. I can make a point. I can prove a point. We can like, like you just rally people up to like go against a certain belief system or go against the gods or whatever. I feel like on your journey along the way, you're going to find people. You're going to come across people that are they're for a belief system, but they're also against it. And it's really confusing because it's like, how can you be against something that you are too? Like, let's say, for example, you meet a pastor, right? Or a priestess. It's like they're saying we, or they're doing it too, but then they talk about it in a negative way. So it's controversial, where it's like, well, whose side, what is your real perspective? And I feel like that's where like the murky waters is coming from, because there's an invested interest to see what you're doing, what you're working on, what you're planting. And so it's pretending to be interested because they see themselves in you. But with working with that type of energy, it's like they're only in support of you in the event that you're trying to push their agenda or you're trying to push their narrative. So if you're controversial in the sense of, no, I can work with you, but I have my own beliefs and I'm not going to change who I am or fit your mold, then it's like, well, now I got to take you out. And it's kind of, that's where the bribe energy that I was picking up on, because they're saying it subliminally, but not technically. And so they want to reach your inner child. They want to know what makes you tick. They want to know, it's like, I got to get to your inner child. So I feel like you are the protector between your inner child and the opposing force, whatever that opposing force is. It says seeds well planted, efforts or investments that will be rewarded in the future, the need for patience, a time for resting and planning for the future, unnecessary worry. So when I heard assume the position, I heard two things, okay? The first thing that came to my mind, which is the one I didn't want to have to say, but it was the one where it's like bend over. So you may feel like you're being done wrong, like you're being fucked up out here in literal or spiritual context, or figuratively. So while they feel like they're about to decompartmentalize you or pull you away, it's like you don't end up having to worry. Three of Pentacles. Like reinforcement is here. This too shall pass. So I feel like you're riding out a storm right now. And it's because your energy just forces people to heal their inner child, pretty much. So for a period of time when you're working with certain people or certain energies, you may feel a little off because you're an empath, right? So that energy is passing through you, but it doesn't belong to you. But you'll be able to, it's like your body, your empathy, your gift that you have is going to tell you everything and reveal another person's hands to you at all times. So you have more on your foe or your enemy than they have on you at all times. And it's through the gift of empathy. Because your intuition is going to tell you exactly like where to strike, really. Because I feel like this is giving me that scorned energy. I feel like someone's coming into the realization that their blocked heart chakra disqualifies them from having a beautiful bounty, okay? A beautiful harvest. And so to watch you make so many different strides in a particular direction. Go ahead, baby. The only thing that a person can do at this phase on their journey is to hate you.
They're in the bathroom.
Open the door. They just doing hair. It's to hate you. 3 of Pentacles. Do what you love. Recognition for the highest quality of work, especially creative endeavors. Being paid well for your craft. Working well with others. An excellent reputation. Someone is coming to the realization that the letters, the writings on the wall, the scribes, where it's not referring to them, but it was referring to their offspring. And they're having a hard time understanding that they were not chosen. This is Medusa energy. This is I'm hurt energy. And so rather than support you or be neutral, I have to turn you into stone. I have to stop you. Yeah. Queen of Pentacles. You aren't insecure. You're not. You're just an empath that has absorbed someone else's sorrow. Generous, practical, gracious, materialistic, the ability to make anything more beautiful, a love of family and home, be practical about how you proceed, a love of art and beauty, a sensible approach. This is 10 of Pentacles. This is disputes with family. Since you were a child, you've had to deal with this. And I feel like it carried over into your love life. So the choice that you're about to make is about to be very easy for you. For some of you guys, this may be like you just putting your foot down. Queen of Swords. Hey, listen. It's a no. It's a no-go. I'm hearing no-go, no-show. Oh, shit. You scared the hell out of me. That's what I'm hearing. So, I mean, I don't know what positions people going to be assuming, but if whatever position they were trying to put you in, they finna be in that position. 9 of Wands. Damn, 9 of Wands. You've been on this journey for a long time. That's what I'm seeing here. A long time. It's been a long time coming. The Sun. Yeah, this has a lot to do with that you had to go on a journey of overcoming misery and how misery loves company. And when you're an empath, you tend to take on the personality traits of the people closest to you. The reason why that's a gift and a curse is because if you are not aware of who you are and the energy that you possess, you can be a puppet in someone else's scheme. You could be you can start to blend in an environment where you were meant to stand out. But in order for you to stand out, you have to be really anchored in your roots, because if a person can detach you from your roots as an empath, you kind of don't know who you are anymore, and then you go on this long ass journey of trying to remember who you truly are. And I feel like you're wrapping up this long ass cycle of the light that was stolen. All right. And you're about to be released from some type of burden. And it's like every single time You go on the situation. You see things exactly for what it is. There go that Queen of Pentacles in reverse again. I feel like for a long time, you've been trying to encourage a mother, or you've been trying, it's like trying to save someone else, lost yourself in the process. Trying to be empathize with other people, you lose yourself in the process. And so you're learning not to worry about other people, and they'll find their way. But this is for you to go on your own personal journey and figure out, you know, how you lost your light at some point, so you can start to feel it from the inside. So let's close this message. It was like I had to like what break it down, build it up. That's what it feels like. It feels like you're going to go through a journey of breaking something down and building it back up, so it all makes sense to you in the way that it's meant to. Yeah, because you're an old soul. They knew who you were the moment that you came on earth. You just was born into, you were born into a karmic family or something like that, where there was a lot of lessons here that was supposed to like make you grow up really fast. And I feel like your love life is also meant to make you grow up really fast. We have authentic. Reach out to your tribe in times of need. Family gives you strength when you face the storm. Love your uniqueness. You are full of surprises. Break free from others' expectations. Just be yourself. Yep, that's what I'm seeing here. You're becoming your true authentic self, no matter who likes it or doesn't like it. Taurus, I love you guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.